Welcome back, everyone. It is Eric from Rare Candy, and today we're back with some more Scarlet and Violet TCG news. And I don't know about you guys, but I am really glad that the dam is finally breaking, so to speak, for this set, and we're finally starting to get a nice drip feed of information. We recently saw a couple of Pokemon get revealed. We saw the Pokemon Tool rule change, but today we actually have a good handful of trainer cards that just got revealed over in Japan. So these are going to be a mix of reprints and new cards, some of which are actually causing a little bit of controversy within the community, so definitely excited to get to those and see how those are going to do. But before we get into the actual card reveals, if you guys can, do me a favor, leave a like on that video to feed that always hungry YouTube algorithm, and also be sure to check out friends of the channel sponsoring today's video over at PokeXWord.com. If you're not familiar with them, every week they drop these Pokemon and Pokemon TCG themed crossword puzzles that actually are a pretty good challenge. And these guys really do a good job of giving back to the community as well. Every month they run PTCGO code giveaways, but starting on December 12th for the next 12 days, they're actually going to be doing daily giveaways. So if you want to enter into any of these, all you have to do is head on over to their Twitter and follow the instructions on their giveaway post. I'll have links to all this stuff today down below in the description. Okay, but let's get into these card reveals. So up first we have Penny, which is a new supporter that says, return one of your basic Pokemon in play and all cards attached to it into your hand. So right away, this elicits, memories of a couple different cards we've seen over, many sets. So right now we have Sharon's Care, which is already pretty similar, but also this is very similar to cards like Acerola or AZ of the past, which also saw a ton of play in their respective formats. Now, that being said, I'm actually not sure where I stand on this thing just yet. And the reason for that is this card would normally be used to deny KOs from your opponent. So of course you can pick up things like your bench Lumineon V and stuff like that. But the issue I see with this is that it's only for basic Pokemon. Those Pokemon usually don't have enough HP to really form like strong tanking strategies around. So that's where I sort of struggle with this. Now, that being said, I feel like if you're playing a Blissey deck, you'd probably just switch any copies of Sharon's right over to Penny. That way you can pick up things like your Miltanks, your Radiant Greninja, whatever it might be. So still good, but with an asterisk attached. Okay, next up we have Jacques. Another supporter says search your deck for up to 2 evolution Pokemon cards, reveal them and put them into your hand and shuffle your deck. I think this is pretty low impact overall. We do already have, was it Arezu or Arizu? I'm not sure how you pronounce the name. Came out back in, I believe it was Astral Radiance, which searches, I believe, for 3, if I'm not mistaken. Now, granted, I think they have to be without a rule box, if I remember correctly. I mean, I guess if you're a deck with like maybe a strong non-supporter based draw engine, maybe you could play this, especially with Pokemon EX coming back into the game and those being evolutions, but I think this is pretty low impact. Okay, so I think it's definitely one of the better new supporters that we're getting revealed here. This is going to be Arvin. You search your deck for an item and a Pokemon tool card, reveal them, put them into your hand, and shuffle your deck. So again, guys, pretty important to point out, Pokemon tool cards are now their own classification. They do not fall under the item banner that they previously did. So you won't be able to grab like Choice Belt and an air balloon or something like that. You wouldn't be able to. I think this card is still okay. We've seen cards like Skyla see play. We've seen even cards like Green's Exploration. Was it not Bill's Maintenance? Bill's Analysis, kind of a similar sort of thing too. So Peony. So this one definitely has a chance, but again, definitely a slower supporter. So we definitely would need a deck that has a strong non-supporter based draw engine. So maybe something like UV Max. That's a good example. That way you could grab maybe like a Choice Belt and a Power Tablets, or on your opening turn, maybe you can use it for Battle VIP Pass, something like that. But this card seems okay. Okay, next up we have a new Pokemon tool. This is Stone Breastplate. I'm assuming this is like the big item to push with Koraidon EX. That's what it seems like they're trying to do here. Or I'm sorry, not item, but tool. Forgive me. But yeah, it's a Pokemon tool that reduces the damage to your fighting Pokemon by 30. So I guess the idea is you can attach this to your Koraidon, try to tank hits with that thing. So that's fine. I mean, a 30 reduction is pretty good. This is definitely like an automatic upgrade to something like Big Charm for fighting Pokemon specifically. But you can even play this on things like Rapid Strike Urshifu. That's still going to be a card that exists after the rotation as well. Stonjourner's rotating. I'm really not sure what you would actually play this with. Koraidon's probably the only thing I can really think of off the top of my head. But even that card doesn't seem too great right out the gate, I will say. But just something to keep in mind, I guess. And the last of the new cards that really has had a lot of people talking, that's going to be Electricity Generator. I'm assuming this is the card they're trying to push with Miraidon EX, the Lightning version. So it's an item. It says, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose 2 basic Lightning Energy cards, and attach them to your bench Lightning Pokemon in any way that you like, then shuffle the remaining cards into your deck. So anyone who remembers Max Elixir can definitely easily identify why this card is good. So Max Elixir, of course, was a little bit different. You only got 1 energy, but you got to look at the top 6, and it was for any energy as well. So you don't get to dig quite as deep with this, which is relevant. But if there are multiple energies, you do get this. So a little bit of a trade-off there. Now, I will say, I don't even know how often the additional attachment this offers you over Elixir matters, because a lot of the times you're only hitting like a single energy. Like you really have to play like a super inflated count of lightning energy to be able to hit these. Like you're going to be looking at like 14 to 16 or something if you want to reliably try to maximize the value that this card gives you. So of course we can play this with things like my mind's blanking. Oh, Miraidon EX. But I mean, there's a number of other fluffy targets like the Zekrom, the Regilucky. So this seems pretty good. I think the big question mark is what's going to be the right partner for this thing. That's sort of the issue for it. But as long as there's a good lightning Pokemon in the format to pair this with, I think this card's going to be in good shape. So maybe your deck, like after rotation, is Regilucky VMAX plus Miraidon EX. So with Regilucky, you can push your damage up to 280 to knock out V-Stars and Stage 1 EXs and all that, and use cards like this to get going, and the Miraidon searches out all your basics. So that deck sort of seems like it might build itself, but like I said, as long as there's a decent lightning Pokemon in the format, this absolutely is going to be an insanely good card. But that being said, there are actually some reprints that we just got announced as well. So if we scroll back up here, we do see we are getting Ultra Ball, which we already found out about a couple days ago. We have Crushing Hammer staying around, which I'm fine with. Some people like really hate hammers, but I think this card's super fair. It's a coin flip after all. So I have no issue with Hammer staying around. We have Pokemon Catcher staying around. And we also have Energy Search here. So these are the sort of existing cards that are getting reprints. But digging a little bit further back into the card pool, we have Nest Ball coming back, which is great to see because right now we knew Quick Ball was going to be leaving us, and there really wasn't a decent like Pokemon Search replacement that we had known about yet. So Nest Ball, it's pretty similar to Quick Ball, a little bit different though. You just search your deck for a basic Pokemon, but it does go directly to your bench. So trade-off with this and Quick Ball is, you don't have to get rid of cards, but Pokemon with like strong coming into play abilities like Lumineon V won't actually be able to activate those abilities with this thing, which, in a way I kind of like, just because I think this helps more like setup based decks, like your stage 2 evolutions and all that stuff. And it's usually like the big beefy multi-prize decks that use these like coming into play abilities on their Pokemon. So I'm fine with Nest Ball coming back. I liked Quick Ball. Part of me kind of prefers, or would have preferred if we had a Quick Ball reprint, but Nest Ball is amazing. Hope you guys held on to your copies. This card saw a ton of play from like 2018, 2019 season. Great card. Happy we're getting this one back. That's going to do it for all of these new trader cards that we just saw get revealed. I think the big takeaways though are, of course, the new lightning acceleration thing, and also Nest Ball. I think those are definitely the big 2 cards to take note of here. But that being said, I definitely want to hear from you guys down below in the comment section. What do you guys think of all these cards that we just got announced? Do you like Nest Ball coming back? Are there any other cards you wish would have gotten reprinted? What lightning Pokemon are you excited to play with Electricity Generator? Let me know your full thoughts down below. But as always, if you did enjoy today's content, remember to leave a like on the video. And if you're feeling a little bit extra generous and want to take that support to the next level, you can also become a patron at patreon.com/rarecandytcg or pick up some merch at rarecandytcg.com. But as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.